As a kid during the holidays, if you celebrated Christmas, you were probably cautioned against bad behavior for the fear of receiving coal in your stocking. However, in some cultures, you would be threatened by an evil Santa. That's right. Today, Maya and I are delving into the stories of Krampus. So join us in our Morbid Time Machine and let's get into it. Welcome, inquirers, new and old. Have you ever wanted to go down a rabbit hole of morbid history, but you don't know where to start?
Then you are in the right place. Our Grim Past is a podcast where each week we explore messed up history.
From shipwrecks and spooky places to morally questionable people and practices, we're Sophia
and Maia.
Join us in our Morbid Time Machine
and let's discuss history's most fucked up.
Hey, Maia.
Hi, Sophia.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Finals are over.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Yes. No, I'm so relieved.
When this is released, I will be in Florida.
I love that.
I'm so excited. I get to visit my aunt and uncle in Florida. I'm going with my dad.
Ooh, fun. When this is released, I will be probably at work.
Ooh, shout out.
Shout out. Make that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, Krampus. So I never grew up with Krampus.
Okay.
But I did grow up with Sinterklaas, which is the Dutch German Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And Krampus follows him around. But in the Netherlands, Sinterklaas has a little bit of a different sidekick. It's an interesting depiction. His name was Black Pete.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think he's since been changed. I'm not entirely sure. But he would carry around, or he would join Sinterklaas. And then if you were bad, you'd just get shoved into Sinterklaas's bag. Like, bye-bye. Time to go now. I was never really taught that. I was more of the, hey, if you're bad, you're going to get coal on Christmas, kid. Sinterklaas Day was more of, ooh, more presents. And it was our little check-in, which was it was really fun. We always got it wasn't big things. It was maybe we'd get a Christmas movie or a new set of Christmas pajamas, and then we'd get chocolate or some kind of sweet. But those were always in our wooden shoes.
Oh.
But no, that was super fun. I do remember my Oma telling me the story of how she stopped sucking her thumb. She was always told, and she tried to use this to help me stop sucking my thumb. It didn't work. She was told, oh yeah, if Sinterklaas catches you sucking your thumb, then you're going to be shipped overseas and you're going to have to live in a bunny cage for a year.
What?
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah. And you're going to have to be there for a year. And then next Christmas, determine if you're a goody kid again. Yeah, she stopped sucking her thumb. She put wool mittens over her hands while she slept. Because she was I'm not, she had bunnies. She was I'm not living in that for a year. Heck no. I tried the wool mitten thing. Didn't work. I just took them off. It's I don't care. I'm good. But that also reminded me of, I took German in high school. Mm-hmm. Very original.
Right, I took Italian, so.
Oh yeah, we're both very original here. There's these morbid German storybooks, and one of them is it talks about the guy who cuts your thumb off when you suck your thumb. I was oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I was told that story growing up. I talked to my Oma about it. She was I never told you that. No one ever told you that. No, I was just getting the Sinterklaas thing mixed up with that. So it's yeah, you can't get, if you suck your thumb, then this guy, which I'm pretty sure his name was translated to cut your thumb off. I'm not sure. Any of our German listeners out there who grew up with these stories, or if you grew up with these stories,
there's no shout out to our German listeners.
Yeah, shout out to our German listeners. Send us an email, correct us. But no, he would he had giant scissors and he would cut their thumbs off. So then they had no thumbs.
Wow. I didn't originally grow up with Krampus. We just had Santa. But then when I got a little older, we would joke about Krampus.
Oh yeah.
A lot. It was just he was a little bit of a joke. But my mom had these cool Santa statue things, and they're little. And it was Santa around the world, and
oh yes,
on the windowsill. And so that was always fun because I got to see the different Santas that people thought was Santa. And I was oh, this is cool. And we did I thought it was just like a German thing, but apparently it's like a German-American immigrant thing.
Okay.
But we had like a pickle in the tree.
Oh, I love the pickle in the tree.
So like I talked to my dad a bit about it because it's from I think his family did it when he was little. But it's not actually, correct me, I don't know if I'm actually right or wrong or if I'm spouting nonsense, but it's not actually like a thing they do in Germany. It's like something German immigrants did in America that then is like continued in America.
Yeah.
So we have this little like foam pickle with a Santa hat and it like we shove it, like we'll hide it in the Christmas tree and stuff and then like find it. Well, not Christmas tree, Yule tree. Sorry. And we had a little elf on the shelf too.
Yeah, so did we.
And he's still around. He just chills though.
What's your elf's name?
His name's I think we just named it Max.
Max. I love it. Ours was Gizmo, named after our neighbor's cat that we would always babysit. No, love Gizmo, but he has since moved on to a new home. So yeah, Gizmo has since moved on to a new home. He now resides with my cousin, I think. Are you sure we gave him to my cousin? Because we no longer really need him.
My grandma still has hers from when she was a kid.
Dang.
And it's like, it's like an old tradition, I guess. And it's like, obviously it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
It's like, he's a little old one and it's really fun. So like, we would find him.
Well, I was talking to one of my coworkers and she was like, oh yeah, no, we had those when we were a kid. Like when she was a kid. But like back in the day, they used to like give them out for free. Like they used to be like a gift with purchase thing. And then after like the Elf on the Shelf movie came out and they became like super popular, was when it was like, oh yeah, no, like we can actually like charge $20-$30 for this thing and people will buy it and all of the accessories. No,
yeah, I remember we got ours like a jersey.
Ours has a cool little bomber jacket and like yeah. Like, damn, he looks pretty, like, he looks so smart. I will definitely I'll make sure to have a picture of Gizmo on the Instagram. Yeah, one time he took my iPod Touch and, like, just held on to it for 3 days. And I was like, he didn't move. He was just like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna chill with it for 3 days. And I was like, thanks, Gizmo.
Yeah, because you can't touch them.
You can't touch them.
Lose their magic.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, Maya, I don't know if you had this. The other thing, too, when I was a kid, there was, like, this thing, kind of, if there are little ears listening, dip out now. But there was this thing where, like, parents could send in the information about their kids to this Santa website. And then it would tell you whether or not the child was, like, naughty or nice. And it would, like, ding if you were naughty, and then like there was this awful buzzer when you were, or it would ding when you were nice, buzzer when you were naughty, and like this was like halfway through the month, so it's like, okay, you gotta shape up.
Yeah, we would write letters to like Santa, and then I think once my mom called him, my younger sister, she was like, yeah, he's chill.
Yeah,
and we're like, okay, perfect.
No, my creepy old gym teacher used to tell us that he had Santa on speed dial. I know. Yeah. He also had a Santa hat that was like Santa stuck in the chimney that he would wear all like December. Yeah. But he was a creepy dude. Anyway, to Krampus we go. So Krampus is described as an anthropomorphic figure with cloven hooves, horns, and a forked tongue. He also carries around a large sack and drags chains with him. This is like kind of like a little callback to our ghost stories episode, but Krampus originates from the tradition of sharing scary ghost stories during long winter nights before and after winter solstice. So during this time, it was said that the veil between the natural and supernatural world was thinned, and children were warned against bad behavior and told that evil creatures would beat them, eat them, or drag them away if they were naughty. These stories, so when like Christmas became like popular and Santa and all of that, these like demonic stories were replaced by Krampus. So in like short words, Krampus is like evil Santa. Like,
yeah.
interesting dude. But in a lot of places before coal, or like instead of coal, it was like, oh yeah, you either get your presents from Santa for being a good kid, or you get dragged away by Krampus.
I heard the thing that my family would say is he would beat you with stalks of wheat.
Yes, no, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd either get thrown in his bag, beaten with stalks of wheat. I think he had chains, but yeah. So even though originally Krampus was like the bad cop to Santa's good cop, typically now he appears alone, and this is typically during Krampusnacht. I took 4 years of German. Sorry if I butchered that. I have not practiced speaking German in a while, so sorry to our German listeners. He comes out on December 5th, and like I know in Germany there's like parades where like people will dress up as Krampus. And it's like a huge thing of like people dressing up as Krampus and like celebrating.
Wow.
Which is like, okay, yeah, that is actually, I want to go to one sometime. So another reason why Krampus was kind of created was like initially St. Nicholas gave gifts to the good children and punished the bad, but that kind of went against his like saintly image. So they're like, we need someone evil to punish the bad kids.
Yeah.
And what's more evil than a cloven-hooved demon who beats children?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So they're like, Krampus, we're gonna do Krampus. He is our evil dude. But that also does like make sense why like so many like Saint Nicholas's and like they have like partners. And
True. Wait, it was a Grinch based off of Krampus?
Ooh. We gotta check that out. But no, like I feel like that's really interesting. And it's like, okay, that's kind of like makes sense why like the elves come in, because it's like, oh yeah, Santa can't be mean. So it's the elves who like make the toys and are like, here is your coal. But no, that was like actually really, really interesting.
So apparently the Grinch is based off of Dr. Seuss himself.
Oh, that's a little,
I guess,
concerning.
Yeah, it was made from his own experiences with the commercializing Christmas.
Oh.
And it's like making it seem monetary instead of its true like meaning.
Okay, no, I see that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess that does make sense because like prior, like Krampus and Saint Nicholas, they were like before the whole like commercialization of Christmas and those such holidays, and like where the root was, hey, reward the good, punish the bad, punish the evil.
I think I found this on though is using AI art, so I'm upset about that.
But another interesting like little differentiation between like Krampus and Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas, he always comes with a full bag of gifts to give to children. Krampus comes with an empty sack to stuff children into.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be bad.
Wait, do you think this is also tied into like kidnapping during the time? So it was like you have to be good so you don't get kidnapped.
Yeah,
so like don't wander off because like then you'll get kidnapped.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm onto something.
You are onto something. But no, I definitely think like nowadays Krampus is a lot more romanticized. Like as like most cryptids are. I know. We will post pictures of Krampus. Bro is a little creepy. No, you should look up the Krampus parade.
Oh, because he's like a devil. So it's like, oh, right or no?
Well, no, the Krampus parade is like a thing where like people dress up as Krampus and like do a parade.
But I just mean like romanticized.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. And I have definitely seen Krampus on some like hear me out. Like,
no way.
But no, like he is definitely like super popular, which is like, okay, yeah, like we are kind of like in the world, like in a world of like, okay, well maybe the bad isn't like life isn't so black and white. The bad isn't always so like the bad isn't always evil. The evil isn't always bad. The good isn't always like
actually good.
Yeah. Actually good.
But he was like made to be bad.
Bro was made to be bad. Bro,
like he doesn't have a reason behind doing this.
He just was.
He's just giggly. But like, I mean, yeah. Like one of my favorite. What if I talk about Lermontov?
Go for it.
Okay. Anyway, so one of my favorite authors is Lermontov. He's Russian literature guy. He's awesome, cool, died a long time ago. Anyway,
we'll get more into him
yes,
in future episodes.
Trust, I'm obsessed with the guy. Not in a weird way. But he's wrote like a long form poem called The Demon, which is about like, technically I think it's Lucifer.
Okay.
And it's like follows is like he fell from heaven, right? He becomes like the king of the underworld.
Yep.
And he's flying around and he like falls in love with a human.
Oh.
And it's like he's reminded because he found like pain to be boring. He was like hurting, being evil is boring. He didn't like it anymore.
Okay.
And then he saw her and he was reminded of his like happy days being like in heaven and got like super sad. Anyway, he like falls in love with her and it's a really sad story and it's really, really good and I love it.
Does he end up with her?
So basically he ends up he's like he tells her that he's in love with her. He also did kill her husband.
Bro.
But her husband was not a good guy.
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
But she was like really pretty and then he like fell in love with her and then he was like, I'll make you like the queen of like the underworld or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you everything that I can. And she was like, okay, slay. And then they kiss, but since he's a demon, his kiss was like poisonous. And then she died in his arms after she like gave herself up to love. And then her guardian angel came down and was like, don't kiss him. Her name's Tamara. He was like, don't do it. And she was like, I'm gonna anyway. And then does and then dies. And then she's like, I think what it is basically is she feels betrayed because she died from kissing him, but he didn't know that would happen.
Yeah.
And so he was gonna then take her soul down to like hell with him.
Yeah.
But
to like
her guardian angel wouldn't let him.
Boo.
It was like, you took her like human life, so I'm gonna take her soul. And then he did. So she went to heaven.
Oh. Well,
which
like
is a little strange because technically she kissed a demon, so she should go to hell, but because like she was a good person otherwise, she heard like the voice of the devil because he was like in love with her and was like trying to talk to her. She was like, I gotta become a nun. And then he was like, no. And then but it is actually really sweet. The way he describes her is really amazing. He like obviously he like did look at her face, but the way he like describes like her eyes and like her nose and like her is like really cool. And it's like he says something about, so one of like the biggest quotes from his poem is, my heaven and my hell are in your gaze. Which is like he's obsessed with like her eyes and it's really, really pretty. And it's like she asks him like, why should I listen to you? Why should I say anything to you? Like you're a sinner, because he's like a demon. And he says, towards you I am no sinner. And then she says, someone will hear us, and he's like, we're alone. And then she asks in God, and then the demon responds, he won't glance at us, eternal for heaven but not for earth, his care. So like he cares eternally for heaven, but for earth he doesn't because it's not eternal. And she's like, we'll have punishment. And he responds, what of it if we're going through it together? And so it's really, really cute.
So it's like a kind of like star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, it is, because she's a human princess. Anyway, I will probably talk about this.
Oh, okay.
My Lermontov the demon. Yeah, it's really pretty. I cried. And there's a very pretty like drawing of them.
Oh, dang.
There's multiple of the poem. But
why is he kind of like
So it's basically, there's a really popular one of their kiss where she's dying in his arms. And there's also this one.
Okay, but seriously, why in like every depiction is he like kind of hot though?
Exactly. That is the question. And the original Russian is really But yeah, it's cool. It's really interesting because he denies everything that he's been told that he is after he fell from heaven for her, and then he can't escape. So sorry I went off about that in literally Krampus episode, but
no, like that's like a really interesting way to think about like good and evil, and like kind of show like the world isn't black and white. Like even this creature that in most religious depictions is considered the most evil of evil, who can feel no pain, no sympathy, no love, no anything.
Yeah, and that's like what he starts out as. Like he starts out as feeling nothing. It describes he's looking out to the earth and like hell in his domain. He's like, I feel nothing for this. And then he sees her and he starts to feel things and he's confused by it. But he can't kill her because he's in love with her. But then he does kill her husband, but it's her husband's fault. Basically,
yeah.
you're supposed to pay tribute to a final resting place of a hero, and he didn't because he was like, I'm getting married, and then the demon was like, bruh, and so then he died.
Yeah. No, very interesting turn this took, and I can't say that I'm upset.
Yes. I will yap about one montage literally whenever.
Yes. All right, this was fun.
This was so fun.
So fun. Join us next week as we dive into vampires and vampirism.
Yes. I'm so excited, you guys. This is going to be our first 2-part episodes. So next week will be specifically about vampires and describing what it is. And the episode after that is going to center more on vampirism and what that is, but they're tied together. So I'm excited.
All right. Thanks for listening. Stay curious.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, all sources will be listed in the show notes below.
Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on our upcoming discussions. Join us next week as we delve into the intriguing depths of our grim past.
Stay curious. There's so much more to uncover.